What's going on, YouTube? This is episode 6 of the Beck Family Podcast. My name is Chad.
I'm Zai.
And I almost messed up the introduction there because I was about to say, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Chad. Like, this was my YouTube channel, but this is not my YouTube channel. This is the podcast. We hope you guys have been having a good week, good month, a good January, February. Now it's March. And yeah, feels like we haven't done a podcast episode in a minute, but
we've been so busy. We have been so busy. Just being more in tune and being present in our lives. I mean, spending time with our family
and work
has been a lot. So, and we've been doing a lot of serving at our church. So we've been busy.
It feels like we at the church probably every single day.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We've been at the church every single day, but at this point I don't complain about doing stuff that I don't want to do. I'm just like, I'll just serve, whether it's serving the Lord, serving others, and just keep it pushing. And it is what it is. But back to the pod, we do hope that you guys have been having a good time watching the videos. We've received a lot of feedback in person from like our family, our friends. Mm-hmm. I've tried to start up the TikTok page, which I'll put the TikTok in the description.
And you've been doing a great job with that.
Thank you.
You have been. I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of effort to really record the episode, edit the episode, make clips of the episode, post the clips, make sure the clips have good hashtags. It takes a lot to do all that. So we're kind of trying to see if we can, maybe find an editor to spice up the actual full-length podcast for you guys, as well as small clips. But we'll see how that goes. Like we said, we're not really making money from this. So if we do pay an editor, it has to be out of our own pocket. So that's something we're looking at. But before we go ahead and get into this, just a recap. I know we always talk about every episode, we're watching this show, we're watching that. But right now, Paradise Season 2, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I know we talked about it on our last podcast. And Chad was like, it's kind of like a little slow. But I think it needed to be slow in those first 3 episodes to get us to where we're at now.
I think the first season really pulled us into the grand scheme of what's going on, like what the actual premise or plot of the show is. Mm-hmm. And then now this season is like, okay, we have to actually explain some background characters, some stuff that they brought up in the first season that you just never got to saw or never get to see. Mm-hmm. And then now we're just learning about additional characters, and all around to me, it's a good season because they're doing a good job of like building you up to get to the point that you're at now.
Yeah, without making it seem like you're just waiting for the climax. It seems like each episode is very...
It's like good foreplay.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
It's very enjoyable to watch. And it doesn't seem like you're just getting led on and you're not receiving anything, like it's just a filler episode. Each episode is very intentional. I like how they did that too.
Yeah, so I can understand how I've seen some people say like, oh, season 2 is the worst and it's just so much filler and background and talking and this and that. But I think if they honestly made this season like season 1, where it's just straight action and never explain any characters or anything that's happening, you'd be like,
it will leave room for the audience to kind of put their own take on it if they did that.
I honestly think the audience would complain that, like, why didn't y'all ever explain this? It would kind of be like Stranger Things, but they never explained that. It's just kind of like you just jumped in and now it's new characters.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing a good job with it. Apparently, it's only supposed to be 8 episodes. We're on Monday is episode 6.
And it doesn't seem like it's been 6 episodes.
No.
And it's like the episodes go by so fast, and they are putting a lot in one episode. I will give them that.
For it to be a Hulu show, whoever is the director behind it or editor, they're doing a great job. Cinematic wise, the actors, everybody's doing a great job. It's a lot more I want to say about the show, but
we don't want to
spoil it for you guys. So,
yeah,
it is what it is. But Paradise is top tier. And we finished Hijack season 2 as well. It ended like we have to have a season 3 to even wrap up season 2.
Yeah, so I'm sure there will be a season 3 coming. I just don't understand how many hijacks can happen.
Yeah, it has to be coming to a... Wait, did it come to a resolution?
No.
Yeah, it didn't. I really need TV show producers and stuff to stop making 8 to 10 episode long seasons. Like, give us 15 episodes.
I really and thoroughly enjoyed when seasons were like 22 episodes, an hour and 30 minutes long. And now we're not getting that anymore.
An hour-long episode is nice, but when the season's 8 episodes, it's like, okay, it should be 15 episodes, or just go until like you leave us on a cliffhanger. Don't just I don't know how to describe it. I just wish that shows, yes, the quality is nice of certain shows. Yes, they make a lot of episodes, but I miss when shows used to have 20 episodes in a season. Like Gossip Girl probably had tons of episodes.
Gossip Girl had like 20 episodes in one season, each episode being probably like an hour and 30 minutes.
And you knew for the first quarter of the next year, we're going to be watching this. Also, another TV show coming up is Invincible season 5. I think that comes out Tuesday of this week. And so does The Boys is getting ready to come back out.
What was that movie we watched last weekend?
I know which one you're talking about.
What was it?
It was on Netflix. What was it called? It's called War Machine. War Machine on Netflix. Very good movie.
Very good. Very good. Literally from the first 3 seconds in, it's action-packed.
It's action the whole entire time, and it's a bunch of twists. Well, it's a big twist in the movie that you won't guess. You will never be able to guess it. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those movies that starts off with here's the apple, go find the apple, and then it's like you end up with a car.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to guess it. So we definitely recommend that you should check that out as well.
That was a really good movie.
Talking about other news, I'm just transitioning to. It's not a smooth transition at all, y'all. It's just a harder bit of stop. But Rihanna, it looks like she was getting shot at by some crazy lady.
Yeah, she's moved to full time to Barbados now. So
that's where my auntie's from.
Yeah.
Auntie Carol, Skylar's mom.
Oh, okay.
She's from Barbados.
Okay.
But yeah, I heard she left LA after the shooting. Rihanna was apparently home. And what's crazy about the lady that tried to kill her is the lady was proclaiming for months before that Rihanna was targeting her, and God told her that he's going to take care of Rihanna and her time is short and God's going to do this to Rihanna. And it's like she trying to fulfill her own prophecy here, which is...
And I don't believe that God would tell anyone to harm anyone.
You go kill somebody. I mean, in the Old Testament,
where Jesus has came.
Yeah.
So I don't think God would say, go kill this person for whatever random reason this woman has came up with in her head. But I will pray for her. She is in my thoughts and prayers. And Rihanna and her family is in my thoughts and prayers. But some people just need some help.
And it seems like a lot of people nowadays, I don't know what it is about the amount of people who are crazy and then kind of shielded with God told me to do this and that. When people say oh, God told me to go kill these people, or God told me to go blow some stuff up.
I don't believe that.
I understand that. And I'm like, well, clearly we're not dealing with the Lord. We're dealing with some demons who have convinced you of something, but
yeah, we're dealing with some.
But when you got the download, you're like, you really told me to do that? It doesn't align with what God would tell you to do.
Well, that just lets me know that they're not aligned with God themselves for them to believe that. And everyone knows that the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So God is everything but that. So I don't. And I would say make sure while we're in these end times that you guys keep your mental together. I'm noticing that it's a lot of people. We brought this up in a previous episode. It is a lot of people who are in the rabbit hole. Yeah.
And they jumped in and they've been fully delusioned where they can't tell what's real, what's fake, what voices to listen to, what voices not to listen to. So if you guys get anything out of this podcast episode, the most important thing to know during this time is to spend time alone and in quiet trying to decipher what God's voice sounds like. Because there's so many voices. You got social media voices, you got your church people voices, you got your parents' voices, you got your friends' voices, you got your coworkers, you got, people on TV, movies, this, that. The most important voice you need to be able to discern and know during this time, at least what I'm feeling in my spirit, is know the Lord's voice. When he tells you something, it's not going to be loud. It's just going to be, he tells you. And if you know his voice, you will hear it and do as he asks you to. A lot of people, for some reason, they're these seducing spirits.
You have to use discernment when you are getting these downloads, because God wouldn't tell you to do what's opposite from what he talks about in the Bible. Like, he wouldn't tell you to do that. So then that's not from God. And another thing is just pray over your mind. Your mind is a spiritual warfare. And you just have to speak scripture over your mind. I speak scripture over my mind every day. I say, I take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. I think that's in Corinthians chapter. And I speak it over Chad and I. So you just have to do that.
And you got to take upon the mind of Christ, like you're saying, and make sure you renew your mind.
Yeah.
So how you think about stuff before, you got to think about it a little bit different. But, man, it seems like people are just going crazy out here. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with people. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. I don't have time to figure it out. I just send off a prayer, Lord, try to cover people in the world. Yeah. And I'm done with it. I can't. I just can't. It is whatever. It's crazy.
It is.
Now these CEOs, right? So Zana, we have been. Chad is can I say it? Chad is a McDonald's connoisseur. Yeah, I'm a fan of McDonald's.
He loves McDonald's. It's gotten to the point that I think last year my cousin would say, he would tell my mom, I see Zion and Chad at McDonald's like almost I see their car at McDonald's.
He was exaggerating. We weren't at McDonald's like that. And, but I did go to McDonald's.
You dibble and dabble in McDonald's.
That quarter pounder, y'all.
Chad loves a quarter pounder from McDonald's. And I think we talked about it on previous episodes that when we go to drive-thrus, he just gets the burger. He doesn't get a whole meal or whatever. So back to these CEOs. Let's talk about it.
Before we get to we'll go ahead and get to the CEOs. So the CEOs of all these fast food places have been having a thing where they go and try their newest product or go and try a product that they have at their restaurant.
Why are you calling it product? It's food.
Technically, it's product. They're trying to try food, but the food is the product.
That seems so disconnected to me.
Okay, so they're going to try
that's like me saying I have a brand, or you have Blueberry Hills, and you're saying, yeah, the product is this. Instead of calling it a shirt or what it is. It's like you're disconnected from the actual thing, as if you don't partake in that at all.
Me personally, if a CEO of their food goes, oh, this is our newest product, the McChicken, I don't go, they call that food product.
I do.
I go, I understand from a business point of view, it is the product. It's a new product, but
are you that out of touch with humanity that you can't say, this is our newest burger?
It's not that they're out of touch. To me personally, it's that they're not really thinking of it in the terms of what would sound good to the rest of people. They're just
they have PR people. They knew before they got on the camera to say, this is our newest product.
Yeah, you could say, for regular, if he was announcing this to people. Okay, so the CEO in the video of McDonald's, right? He's reviewing their new burger, the Big Arch.
Here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So, all right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
And he's like, this is our newest product. And he takes like a small bite out of the burger. And people online are like, oh my goodness, he doesn't even want to eat the burger. Why would we want to eat the burger? Burger.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that too. If a CEO gets online and says, this is our newest product, and says, I mean, I think
somebody said he stored the food up in his cheek.
I was like I think his whole facial expression of eating it was just like disgust. So it's like, why would I want to eat that if you, the CEO, don't even want to eat your own stuff?
That's some things that people have brought up. Yeah, like, you barely bit the burger. Why would I want to eat it? You called it a product and not a burger.
As if it's like mystery meat. And you know,
I've told
it's
y'all
been
this.
a lot of things surfacing around like mystery meat.
I've told you guys, like I've told you guys before. Zai's right. I'm a McDonald's connoisseur. If you go to McDonald's and you get a regular cheeseburger, you're going to get a sad patty. The patty's going to be so sad. But if you ask for the Big Mac or the Quarter Pounder, do they not make it fresh every time? It's hot, fresh off the grill.
They do.
Full of flavor. I'm telling you guys that these fast food restaurants, yeah, they're probably serving you fake beef. I'm not going to lie. It's probably fake beef. But when you ask for the premium menu item, they pull out the fresh beef. Now, I can't exactly co-sign and say that's true, but there is a difference in flavor, look, taste, the heat signature.
There is a
it's
difference.
All different.
There is a difference in all of those things that you named. But then it just makes me not want to eat it at all because
they called it a product.
Why are you just serving fake meat for the value meals? And then you're putting real meat because it makes me now I have to judge like
they just make you. It's like a dollar cost average. It's like it's about the dollar. If you're gonna go and you just want something cheap and quick,
is that where we are now? Like everything's about the dollar. It's not about it's not about the quality of the product.
Well, it's just like with different brands. You can go get paper towels that just say paper towels from the store, and you know I may fly through paper towels. Versus if you get Bounty, you know, okay, yeah, the commercial says it's a quicker picker upper and all that. No, that's Swiffer.
I guess my thing is we shouldn't.
You saying everything should just be made with quality?
Yes, everything should be made with quality off rip. There should be 100% cotton. I don't even know how we got into nylon and polyester and all this plastic in our clothes, but it should be 100% cotton, 100% linen. It should be like everything should be 2-ply tissue. Like who even buys 1-ply tissue?
Me personally, yeah, 1-ply.
I'm just like, why are we even selling these things for a value? Like everything should be quality.
Because not everybody wants to. You and I are different. We want quality over quantity. There are a lot of people out there who just want whatever it is. They do not care about the quality. And that's sad to say that the reason that businesses have gotten away with making poor quality items is because people have bought the poor quality item, basically reinforcing that this is what you want. That's why brands like Apple survive so long, because Apple makes a quality product and you know you're going to pay for it. So it's like, okay, I know that if I get this iPhone, it costs $800, but I know this phone is going to last me for years and it's quality and I'm going to get good support. Versus if I just go buy Android rickety taggedy, then it's like, okay, it's $40, but my phone may break tomorrow.
Yeah, you're
back
right.
to the CEO.
Back to the CEO.
Yeah, so he ate the big arch burger, and so that steamed online. A lot of people are like, I don't want the product, blah blah blah, and then it's brought out where other CEOs are now eating their burgers. So Burger King CEO came out and he took a huge bite of his burger. He's in the kitchen. He happy. Like, look at our burger.
And Chad loves to talk about Burger King, but he hasn't had a Whopper.
Yo, I have never.
And I keep telling Chad he is missing out on the Whopper.
Donovan the other day was like, I was going to get a Whopper from Burger King, but I decided to get a Quarter Pounder from McDonald's. I put him on to the Quarter Pounder in LA. And he's like, the Quarter Pounder is good. But he said the Whopper is good.
The Whopper is so good. I don't know if it's like that char grilled taste that's on the burger that has like a smokiness. But yeah.
So Burger King CEO's eating their burger.
And
Wendy's.
He ate it nice and a big bite.
Yeah. The Wendy CEO has ate some of their burger. I've even seen a video where Freddy's CEO said, I'm going to show y'all what I eat in a day. He went to Freddy's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, got desserts, got milkshakes. So the Freddy CEO was.
I like Freddy's.
He was in his own restaurant sitting down eating. Of course, nobody in there knew who he was. Just like a random dude just get recorded. I think his wife was recording him or so.
I like Freddy's. They have, and all of their
nice steak
food
burgers.
is quality. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think with all of these restaurant chains,
Steak and Shake should have got in the.
Yeah, they could have. But the CEO, he did that Big Arch Burger. I'm gonna let y'all know the Big Arch Burger is good. I tried it.
It tastes like a quarter pounder to me.
It's literally a quarter pounder with like fried onions that I did not taste at all. They could leave those out. And
I tasted it.
And it's a different sauce. They got like some cheese or something on
there.
That's
It's not a different sauce. That's that normal Big Mac sauce. It's like Thousand Island dressing.
No, this was like white sauce. It was like white sauce or cheese. It was something like that. It's something else on the burger that if I were to go to McDonald's again, I would get a quarter pounder. I would not get this Big Arch. It's nice. It's a nice product. And like I said before, the CEO's calling the burger a product. I understand, like, somebody should have told him, hey man, when you record this video, you're talking to, all of your customers. So just say we have this new burger called the Big Arch. But if he was in front of a meeting with different shareholders and people of the company, if he said, hey guys, I'm thinking about we bring a new product in, we're going to call it the Big Arch Burger, I can understand that point of view. If he's talking to people,
I can't wrap my mind around it.
Well, that's
because I'm just like, that your product is food that people digest.
The product is food.
That people digest. Why would you get in front of the camera and say, this is our new product? Take the tiniest bite of your life and then scrunch up your face as while you're chewing it.
He didn't scrunch up his face. He just took a small bite. He said,
Yeah, I'm going to be spitting this out as soon as the camera cut.
I think a lot of people... He should have just worded it better.
If you don't want
he should have taken a bigger bite. He could have stored it in his cheeks. But
I'm just like, if you don't want to eat your own stuff, or if you don't want to wear your own brand, if you don't want to drink your own coffee from your own thing, why would someone else want that?
Maybe he had a bunch of Big Arches before he made that video, and he was like, I'm full.
He's not eating Big Arches on a daily basis.
Hey man, if you're going, like Zai said, if you're going to come out with a product, at least look and act like you standing behind it. Don't be looking like you kind of scared of your own product.
Yeah, because it makes you wonder, like, what is actually in this product?
I ain't gonna lie, whatever's in that quarter pounder, the premium beef that they give,
you're gonna turn to a quarter pounder.
Yeah, but we don't eat fast food like that at all. So don't, we want to try the Big Arch, but we don't really do all the rest of that stuff. I think that would be a good time for us to go ahead and transition over into Bible study, and then we'll get to the other two things that we have. Okay, so today's verse is coming from the book of Esther, and I read this whole book this morning. It is Esther chapter 4. Which version are we coming out of? I ever since I saw that video about the NASB 95 Bible, I love the NASB 95. I think it's my personality and the way I think and stuff. It cuts all the little filler out, and I feel like it's just words. I feel like the NASB added filler for this. I've read the book of Esther a few times, and I feel like the NASB added extra verbiage. But we can read from NASB, and it's chapter 4. And this, if you guys don't know about the book of Esther, I'm going to give you a synopsis because we're coming into chapter 4. There's a few things you missed from 1 through 3. So what happens in the book of Esther is adopted by her cousin, who is Mordecai. Mordecai had came over from King Nebuchadnezzar. They forced him out of Jerusalem. So now he's wherever he is, I think. So he's a Jew, and wherever he is, there's probably not that many Jews. So, of course. So, come to find out, the King Xer, whatever, he has a wife and a queen. And around this time, he has like these big old feasts, these big old parties or whatever. And he wants to basically show his noble people that
He has good wine, he has good food, he has good dance, and he wants them to partake in whatever they want to partake in. So he gets to feeling really good. He done drunk some good wine. He is feeling great. He's like, I want everyone to see my queen, my wife. So he sends for his wife. However, his wife, the queen, I think...
You started yelling. She got excited.
His wife, the queen, does not show up. She's like, I don't feel like showing up. I'm not doing that. So he discussed with his noblemen, his advisors, about how he should go about this. And they say, well, now that your queen denied you, this is going to look bad for the rest of us, because the rest of the women are not going to follow what their husband is saying. They're not going to do that. So they're going to be like, because the queen didn't follow the king, now regular housewives aren't going to do the same for their husbands. So you need to basically disassociate with her and tell her she's not going to be the queen anymore, and she's forbidden to talk to you. Okay, he does that. They then say, we could find you a wife. We can find you a nice virgin or whatever. And so this is how the Esther fast started, guys. It's a few things that happens. Or people say, oh, you're in your Esther season. So what happens is Esther for 12 months she prepares herself with frankincense and myrrh and perfume and oils and makeup. She prepares herself for the king, to be in front of the king. The king is very delighted with Esther. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. So immediately he takes on to her. Boom. Now we are where she is. Esther is now queen. So
I was about to say, this is a long explanation.
It is, but I'm giving you the details if you didn't read the book. Okay, and it's a really good book. Really good, really juicy. Okay, so now we're in chapter 4.
You're yelling.
I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. Esther learns of Haman's plot. When Mordecai learned all that had been done, he tore his clothes and put on sackcloth of ashes. Okay, let's fast forward. I forgot to mention one thing before we got here. So what happens is Haman is so upset that Mordecai will not bow down and worship him, a mere man, because Mordecai is a Jew. And he's like, I don't do that. I'm not bowing down to you. Haman gets so frustrated and he says, you know what? I'm going to make sure that all of the Jews get killed and that we can take whatever belongs to them, and I'm going to get the king to sign off on it. Now, Haman having the king's ear, the king agrees unbeknownst to the actual request that is going to be written down and signed with his signet ring. That's where we're at now. So when Mordecai learned all that had been done, he tore his clothes and put on a sackcloth and ashes and went out into the midst of the city and wailed loudly and bitterly. He went as far as the king's gate, for no one was to enter the king's gate clothed in a sackcloth. In each and every province where the command and decree of the king came, there was a great mourning among the Jews, with fasting, weeping, wailing, and many lay on sackcloths and ashes. Then Esther's maidens and her eunuchs came and told her, and the queen writhed in great anguish. And she sent garments to clothe Mordecai, that he might remove his sackcloth from him, but he did not accept them. And then Esther summoned Haddock from the king's eunuchs, whom the king had appointed to attend her, and ordered him to go to Mordecai to learn what this was and why it was. So Haddock went out to Mordecai to the city square in front of the king's gate. Mordecai told him all that had happened to him, and the exact amount of money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the destruction of the Jews. He also gave him a copy of the text of the edict which had been issued in Susa for their destruction, that he might show Esther and inform her, and to order her to go to the king and to implore his favor and to plead with him for her people.
Want me to read now?
Yep.
Haddock came back and related Mordecai's word to Esther. Then Esther spoke to Haddock and ordered him to reply to Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that for any man or woman who comes to the king to the inner court who is not summoned, he has but one law, that he be put to death, unless the king holds out to him the golden scepter so that he may live. And I have not been summoned to come to the king for these 30 days. They related Esther's words to Mordecai. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, do not imagine that you in the king's palace can escape any more than all the Jews. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, and you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not attained royalty for such a time as this?
Okay, so this is the very famous like quote, for such a time like this, for Esther. Okay, Mordecai is basically telling Esther here so far, just because you sitting high up on your throne, you're a queen, you are still a Jew. And you have the power to talk to the king and see if he can fix what is going on, because they're about to destroy all of the Jews, all of your family. So, and she's telling him, well, I can't just go to the king. I can't just approach him. I mean, he will have to hold out his scepter to me. And if he doesn't, then I will be put to death just for doing this. And so Mordecai is telling Esther, for such a time like this, all that you have, all that preparation that you had, those 12 months of being prepared for your king, and now you're at this moment. God has given you this gift for just this time. This is why you were put in that place for this time to do this thing. And that's where such a time like this is coming from.
Okay. And then Esther's planning to intercede. This is the end. Then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, go assemble all the Jews who are found in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens also will fast in the same way. And thus I will go in to the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went away and did just as Esther had commanded him. I also know that from that, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise from the Jews from another place, and you and your father's house will perish. A lot of people use that for like, how do I describe it? For like stuff that happens today. Like, and this could not only mean for like this, but like, you know a problem that's happening, you know there's a problem, but you're trying to remain silent about it because you're scared of what others might say or like what might happen to you. But like, if you don't do it, then somebody else is going to be put in position to do it. It's kind of like when God gives you like a idea or like a creative thing, like you should create a honey company and get some bees, and then you don't do it and you're like, is it the right time, or did he really tell me that? And then he goes and gives the idea to me and I go do it, and you're like, I was told to do that. And it's like, well, you're gonna, like, you will perish because you don't want to do anything. Like, your relief, your deliverance, if you're not gonna be the one that does it, then it's gonna go to somebody else, and then you're gonna be the one that has like the bad end of the stick. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
What I really like about this book of Esther is that she is saying that she's going to go talk to the king. But she said before she talks to the king, she is going to fast for 3 days with no food or water. And she also tells Mordecai to tell the rest of the Jews in the city to do that. So everybody is on one accord.
Well, it also shows that if you really want some stuff to be changed and be moved and for different things to shift in the spirit and the atmosphere, then you have to fast.
Yeah. So in this time that they're fasting for 3 days and praying to God, because we've only read the 4th chapter, I'm going to just like kind of speed read into how it finishes off. So once that happens, the king gets a dream and he wakes up and he starts to think about Mordecai for this odd reason. Mordecai had saved his life because 2 of his noblemen were plotting to kill him, but Mordecai ended up telling it and to Esther. Esther related it to her husband, the king, and it came out that that was true. So he killed those 2 guys. So he thinks about Mordecai and he wakes up from his dream and he says, did we ever honor the guy that saved my life? And he's talking to his noblemen and they're like, no. The same guy that is plotting against Mordecai, the king tells him, what should I do for someone that I see as noble, that I want to honor them? So the guy that's plotting against Mordecai honestly thinks that this is going to happen for him because he feels like he is in such good graces with the king. And so he says, oh, you should give him a gold robe. You should put him on the horse that you ride on. You should parade him around the city and say, this is what the king does for people that he honors. And the king says, I like that plan. Everything you're doing, go do that for Mordecai. So he gets furious. he gets even more furious at Mordecai and really plots to kill him because he has so much hate in his heart. And he really wants to be like, I don't know, the king's right-hand man. So Esther goes to the king. He, of course, waves his scepter at her after she's fasted for these 3 days. And he says, oh, you're so pretty. You know, he gives her compliments. And he says, what can I do for you? Anything you want, I'll do. I'll give you half of my kingdom. And she says, I just want to have dinner with you. And you can bring Hammond. They have dinner. And he asks her again, what can I do for you? I'll give you half of my kingdom. I'll do anything for you. She says, oh, I just want to have dinner again tomorrow. Can you bring Hammond? And then at that second dinner, so Hammond thinks he got it sold up in the bag. He thinks, oh, I'm having dinner with the king and the queen. I'm the only noble person they invited. Oh, I'm really making it. I'm about to kill this guy, Mordecai. Little do he know. And so then at the dinner, that is when Esther pleads her case to the king and lets him know, like, this man is trying to kill my people and X, Y, and Z. And so at that point, the king kills Hammond on the same pole that he had for Mordecai. Irony there. And he allows Esther to make a new law with his signet ring, signing it, a decree. And the Jews, basically, they win the fight against people trying to attack them. They win the fight. And even in that, it said something about the Jews didn't want what they had. They didn't want what their enemies were what they had already had. Because the enemies were like, if we kill the Jews, we taking what they got. And the Jews were like, we're just fighting for our lives. We don't really care to take what they already have. So that is the book of Esther. It's really great. And it really shows how you can have your husband's ear. Sometimes you can just fast and pray. Sometimes your husband is more receptive to things at a certain time. And I think that's what Esther knew about the king. What, you don't get that?
I mean, if that's not related to you.
What did you get from it?
I mean, I need to go back and read Esther to really get a deep dive and let my spirit really register what's happening here. But, I mean, it sounds like the same sword that your enemies would try to use to persecute you, God, if you follow what he's telling you, you listen to the voice of the Lord, fast for 3 days, you guys go gather all the Jews, do this stuff. That same sword that people tried to use to persecute them was used on them.
You can take many meanings from it, but I do agree with you, Chad, on that. I think I've read it in its entirety to know that when Mordecai said that you were put in this position for a time like this, he's saying your mom and dad passed away. I was left to adopt you. The queen not going to the king, that happened for a reason, to put you in this place. The king makes you his queen. And now it's your time to save your people. I think God also puts us in places where we think, oh, we just got here because of whatever. But really, God has put you in that place for a time that is coming, or for a time like this. So do with that as you will.
Yeah, so I guess your homework, you guys, is to make sure you go and read Esther, because Zaz really tried to explain it over here, and unless you've really read it, you probably won't understand. So, yeah, go read Esther, see what you think, what you get from it, and yeah, I guess that's, some fruit for your spirit, some mana. And that is the word of God for the people of God.
Amen. Amen. And I hope, it resonated with you guys. If not, of course, read it on your own and get your own interpretation from it. As we go on.
Well, we'll do that one last, because this one will be quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not really a basketball watcher. We don't really watch TV, live TV or sports like that. Sometimes I turn them on, sometimes I don't. But recently I've seen where I watched the game. Well, I didn't watch the game. I watched after the game was over. Where Bam, I forgot his real name. It's like Adebayo or something like that. He dropped 83 points in one game. Now he has beat Kobe's record of having 81 points in a game. So it's Kobe at 81, Bam at 83, and then Wilt Chamberlain. I think it's Wilt Chamberlain at 101 points in one game. Now, the only thing about Wilt Chamberlain's is there's no video footage. They just say it happened, so people have to assume that it's true. And they got radio audio of them saying, "Oh, he scored 101 points," but there's no actual footage. So people are very surprised, like, Bam beat Kobe's record. And what's crazy is when Bam did it in the first quarter, he had like 40 points. He was balling out. And then all the way up until the fourth quarter, he had 70. And like the last few points or throughout the game, he was getting fouled. But he shot 40 free throws out of... I think he total had 43 free throws the whole game. And he made like 40 free throws out of the whole game. And people are like, oh, that don't count, da-da-da. To me personally, if you beat the record, it doesn't matter how you did it. You beat the record. He also beat the record for most points in the first quarter of a game, most free throws made in the game. Like, he broke a whole bunch of records, and he's just like he's not a random dude off the bench. Like, Bam has been playing, but people are just like, we expected it from somebody else other than this. But what's crazy is because Wilt Chamberlain doesn't have, and I think it's Wilt Chamberlain, I don't want to be wrong about this, but because they already have, like, he says he made 101 points, but there's no video record of it. Kobe's was in 2006. Think about that. Kobe made that record in 2006. It took 20 years for someone to break the record. So they have video footage of Kobe's, and now they have video footage of Bam's. In my eyes, it's like Bam is number one point scorer in the NBA. Of the most points in a game, he's number one because we actually have video footage of it. I mean, you can have audio of Wilt's. I think it's Wilt Chamberlain. Let me see.
Well, maybe there wasn't any...
What?
Like, I don't know how old Wilt Chamberlain is, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain and then Bam. Wilt Chamberlain did his in 1962.
Yeah, there's not really that many camera footage that would happen in 1962.
Wilt Chamberlain's up here a bunch. He's got 1961. He scored 78. Kobe beat him in 2006, 2026. Bam out of... What's crazy is just a normal guy is now in the NBA records of all time for most points in the game. And would you say Bam is better than Kobe? Probably not. No.
Well, I don't know Bam. And I really didn't watch Kobe, but they say he's a legend. I don't know.
There you go. They even put a celebration on when you go to the page.
Never seen the man a day in my life, but I'm happy for him.
His girlfriend, Asia Wilson, who plays in the WNBA, was at the game. His mom was at the game. He just balled out. And people are all upset. Oh, he had all these free throws. He did it unlegitly. And it's like, I mean, the record's the record, bro. He's now solidified as, in my eyes, number one point scorer for most points in the game. I mean, we can still count Will till we see video footage, but I mean, he still beat Kobe's record, and people are like, he should have.
You can't negate.
People said he should have stopped it.
You can't negate Will because you don't have any video footage. You have to look at the time that was happening in.
Okay. But also, people are saying that Bam should have just stopped at 80 or 81 and paid respects to Kobe.
Why?
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't even
I'm
have
just
stopped at
saying
83.
why. What was so?
They want because they said that he should
But
have
I
respected Kobe.
I don't think if you're in the moment that you're looking to do that, like, oh, I made 80 points. Let me stop real quick. I don't think in the moment of you playing a game that you love and passionate about that you're gonna be like, I'm giving it my all. Let me stop. Let me not go over the 2 points.
Nobody would have thought that.
Nobody would have thought that.
And a lot of people are also excited that the coach allowed Bam to get that many points, because a lot of coaches, when you get like that on fire, you get like 60 points, they'd be like, oh, no, we're just going to put you on the bench. But no, his coach said that at a certain point, they were like, even his teammates were like, we're just going to pass the ball to Bam. And he was hooping. If you go look at the highlight video, Bam was hooping. So I'm like, people are like, he really deserves it. I'm like, he did his thing. He got 83 points, beat Kobe record. So now when you pull up to the trash can in high school and you throw the paper ball, instead of saying Kobe, you say Bam.
You were waiting for that, huh?
Mm-hmm, I was.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Congratulations,
Congrats
Bam.
to Bam. 83 points. I think now we're going to see a bunch of people pass. I don't know. I think we may see a bunch of people try to pass Bam's record, or that maybe that 100 points in one game from one player. I think it might be possible in the near future. Maybe about 2030, maybe.
Well, as we've wrapped that up, and I wanted to get into living for the weekend. Seems like that's all we're doing here. Like, it seems like our days are so, we go to work for 8 hours. We come home. I think I see Chad for 3-4 hours before I actually go to sleep. And even in those 3 to 4 hours, Chad is working out. I'm either cooking dinner, doing our own thing. And then we come and we reconvene. And then we sleep for 8 hours. And it's just like, I don't feel like I have enough time in a day with you. I feel like before I did, when we used to drive to work together, I really missed those days. I really took those days for granted. Like driving to work together, driving home together. Like I felt like we spent more time.
Yeah.
And now it feels like we're just trying to cram everything in to 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just like, why does it feel like we're leaving for the weekend?
I start Monday wishing it was almost Friday because I do nothing. I don't have to think about work, none of that. And a lot of people, I've seen people online say the work week they say is 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 is like a work, but they're like it takes an hour to get to work, so it's really like 8 to 6. It takes an hour to get to work, an hour to get home, so you spend your whole weekday going to and from work to come home to like you said, I see you for 3 hours. We come home. I work out, you do your thing, maybe cook, we shower. By that time, it's 7 o'clock. I mean, there's nothing to do past 10 o'clock during the work week. So, I mean, either I get on the game or you watch a TV show and we spend that time together. And it's like, all right, sleep. And then you go to work early. I go to work a little bit later. So it's like, I mean, we see each other. We try to take our time to actually see each other during the week, but it's becoming like where you're just working. Like I told somebody when I was running the game with another day, they were like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm in high school. I was playing with somebody who was in 11th grade. And I was like, that's why. I was like, high school for me was 10 years ago. And then I was like, we were like, Dylan and I were like, you're going to, Dylan's my brother, but we were like, you're going to college? And he was like, yeah. We were like, well, enjoy college because the only thing after college is work. Like literally the only thing that
I just feel like are we meant to just, I don't feel like we were meant to just work for 8 hours.
Well, that's why they say, financial freedom, work till you don't have to work anymore and let your money make money for you and create a business. But like we said in other podcast episodes, not everybody needs to be a business owner. Somebody's got to work.
I mean, I understand, but I'm like 8 hours out of your day? Were they working like that back in the day?
Yeah.
Can't be.
The only thing
There's no way they were working like that back in the day having 11 kids. There's no way.
The difference back in the day was the price, the value of money lasted longer. So 100,000 back in the day would be for us like 500,000 today, or maybe $1 million. So if you had 11 kids, the wife would stay home with the kids, make sure the house is good, while the husband goes to work, and you can survive with 6+ kids off one salary. Nowadays, even if you do have kids and one person has a nice salary, you still like, man, like we have to have more income. Okay, then they started saying, okay, now the women come to the workforce. Now both men and women are working, try to make a good life for the kids. But even nowadays, it's almost not enough. Like some people, I don't want kids because it's too expensive. Some people have a bunch of kids and they struggle. Other people, plan it out, have kids and have a little bit of money, they're able to make it work. But the system has just been made to where they want you to work. They don't want the wife to stay in the house. They don't really want you to survive off one income. And a lot of things that we see nowadays are a lot of people living above their means or doing things that's just like, you can't have the lifestyle of you stay home, I go to work, we come home on one salary. A lot of people wouldn't be able to just grasp that concept. They'd be like, we got to go on 5 vacations a year. I want to be able to buy me the newest iPhone. I want to be able to. And I mean, I understand it because like you do all this working and you're like, I should be able to have nice things. I just think that for a little bit, sometimes you just got to sacrifice what you want for just a little bit and it'll pay off way better long term. But I think we're also programmed that short-term rewards is what we need.
Right.
Everything's short-term content, short-form videos. So they just reward, just do stuff in the short term. Don't worry about the long term.
Right.
You know me, I plan for long term. So I'm like, but it does just feel like we just work for the weekend. That's why I'm like, okay, If I make it to next paycheck, I can save money, live below my means. Okay. And then we make it to the next paycheck. Because if we think about it, March 14th, we would have been in this house, what, 2 years? Yeah. And a lot can happen in 2 years. But, yeah, it seems like you just wake up every day and go to work. If they gave everybody Friday off and you work Monday through Thursday, it would feel like we have way more of a life.
It does. I've noticed that, like, because I work from home on Friday.
And you have a full day.
But when I went into the office on Friday, I was like, is this how it feels? Like, we're already at Sunday.
Y'all,
I didn't even feel like I had a Saturday.
Y'all, Zai is, she's privileged. She's privileged, right? I work every day. I'm lucky that the IT job that I have now, we get to work from home one day out of the week, which is Tuesday for me. Zai gets Thursday and Friday. She used to get, wasn't it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I only had to go in 2 days a week.
2 days a week. And she would be like, I don't understand why we have to come in Wednesday this time. I'm like, Zai, you get 3 days from home. Like, I only get one. And my last job, I had none. So Zai usually works Thursday and Friday at home. She recently had to go in Friday. She's like, I don't understand. I get home and it's just like I go to sleep and it's Saturday. I'm like, that's how I feel every day, bro. While you do whatever you're doing at the house on Friday, enjoying your Friday.
No, I just feel like from home, I feel like I've just accomplished so much in those 2 days. But I feel like I don't have the stress of like going into work, driving 45 minutes into the city, 45 minutes back home. Like, I just feel like I'm at home. I could run errands to the store. I could go stop at...
Well, that's the thing about working from home. When you work from home, not only are you doing your work, but you can clean up. Mm-hmm. You can watch your TV shows. You can go to the store for what you need. So everything that would take you, I've wasted half my Saturday to do. You finish Thursday and Friday, and your weekend is just you chilling. You're just like, oh, yeah. Oh, how productive of a week it was for me. When I'm home Tuesdays, I get a lot of stuff accomplished, but I'm also doing work. And then it's like, okay, I can only do stuff on Saturday. Because Friday don't count. You come home from work Friday.
The day's over.
You only have a few hours before you close your eyes and you got to reset. And then it's Saturday. And by the time you do anything, by the time you say, everything I need to do all week, I'm going to do Saturday, Saturday's over. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, okay, well, I only have Sunday. And Sunday's for just renewing yourself to prepare your mind for Monday going into work. So it's a whole thing.
Right.
But you guys, we hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast episode.
Yeah.
I like this episode.
I
This
did
was
too.
it was
good.
It was less all formal and all that extra stuff. But, you know, we're going to encourage you guys to, we haven't received any family questions. If you guys have any family questions, you know, type it in the comment section, email us like we said, check out the TikTok, yada yada.
Yada yada.
And yeah, it's been your boy Chad.
And it's Zaire. And we will catch you guys later.
Peace.